Welcome to the next video, guys, and today I wanted to talk about the easiest 2x in your life. 100% guarantee, not financial advice. So today we will talk about DOT ecosystem. DOT pumped recently, and that means that following the money flow of crypto, we would essentially see rebalancing in lower and lower caps that have great teams that are being followed and shielded by influencers or were followed and shielded by influencers before. Those are the strongest picks. However, I wanted to start initially from information about my video 2 days ago. I mentioned that I will be buying a Bitcoin Frog, and I essentially got one. I'm not sure if you see it. Very, very beautiful with nice eyes and things like that. So it costed 6K. I joined the community already. And essentially the thesis that I have is that it's my hedge against Bitcoin just surging up. I do think they might cost multi-Bitcoins at the end of the bull run. And crypto, once you would make a lot of money with Bitcoin, you would want status. Therefore, I think there would be a lot of people who would essentially buying these NFTs, and I will be the one selling them, as I do plan to get some more on the correction. So it's quite interesting. We can essentially move to the topic of the video. Here what we have is RMRK, which is a DOT ecosystem token. It did not, I think, update the price yet. Oh yeah, it's fine. Yeah, so we had this essentially surge up. I don't even know actually like why and things like that. So the reason I bought this coin, actually bought it I think in August or July, and I've already took some profits. I think I took around 3 or 4k profits out of it, not currently but before with the last pump. So I was discussing it with the guy yesterday, and he mentioned something that there's a team, there's a product, but they're working on new ecosystem. They will not be connecting this token to new ecosystem. So that's why the guy essentially dumped the token, and I did not. The case with me is pretty straightforward. So I don't want to basically sit in foundational tokens and make like 20-30% and things like that, and then rebalance into the lower caps, because if someone is rebalancing currently, they would, for example, be rebalancing here. It's already a bit up from the bottom, and I'm sure like once money will flow harder from DOT, because I think DOT will go a bit higher as well. So essentially they're not taking all the access. So my idea, how I would like to essentially play this market, is to invest in the ecosystem tokens of good projects and essentially capitalize on each rebalancing of the money from larger caps to lower caps. So it's not like this multiplier strategy that I was explaining. However, it's quite interesting because I think you can. It's definitely more safe from my point of view, because when you're just rebalancing and multiplying, what if you would put your whole profit into something at the end that will, for example, scam or just go down, things like that. So here, if I get good prices on these type of low caps, it's very, very hard to lose money on this, because for them to go like lower than my entry point, it's actually quite hard. And even like once they pump, so I was buying I think at around 10 or 15 million market cap. So I don't think that we would see this type of market cap for this token anytime soon. So that's why it's quite interesting. One of the theses that I had essentially as well is that it's obviously the token from last cycle. So if you would actually check here, I think Becker was definitely pumping this token, yeah, metaverse investing and things like that. So he don't have like these time codes and things like that, but I'm pretty sure I vividly remember that he was pumping it last time. And if we would check in the game channel, so it's like largest gaming channel. I don't have the link to his watch list now. However, let me try to Google that. In the game hustle coin market cap watch list. Yeah, so probably it's like just by direct link. But an interesting thing is that Hustle essentially has RMRK on his watch list. And it's quite interesting, as there is a chance that he would also be talking about and pumping up. But main thing for me as well is the same thing that I've done with the Bitcoin Frogs and most of my portfolio that I actually have here. So I don't want to sit in large foundational billion market cap tokens. What I would want is to buy something small of the ecosystem that will almost be guaranteed to pump once these foundational tokens essentially pump. So that's exactly something that's happening with RMRK. And the reason of why I will be probably titling this video that it's the easiest to X in your life, because obviously DOT will pump more. I don't see a lot of X's maybe here, only if we will have like a lot of new people coming into the niche and things like that. But it's very, very likely that this token would reach 60 million in market cap, doing a 2x from current prices. That's what I essentially think. And I would be planning to take profits somewhere around that, so somewhere around the end of the year, as I think and as I assume. And if you check actually the all portfolio, it's kind of following the same thesis. So I either do have a narrative or I have a foundational token and I essentially buy something from the ecosystem. Or maybe a combination of two narratives. Because Luxa is like their own blockchain and user experience and gaming and socialify. Virtue Poker is gaming and gamify. Polka gaming and gamify mobile games. Bobo, it's meme and it's this cycle. It's you as well. RMRK, it's gaming and it's being shielded by influencers. Phantasma, it's also a deep in play, decentralized infrastructure. It's also from gaming and it's also being shielded by influencers from time to time. It's also on the list of the hustles. Spartadex is gaming and essentially a DEX, so Gamify and DEX and Arbitrum. Winar is Arbitrum and Gamify as well. Winar I think might be one of the weakest things here because essentially it's quite interesting because it was a call from Hustle, and at the same time if you would check out the tokenomics, they basically get tokens on a daily basis. So I think when I initially bought it, it was around 10 to 15 million market cap, and currently it's probably around 50. And the price stayed the same because essentially the guys, they're getting tokens every day. So I would probably hold it just a bit because it was essentially peak of the week by Hustle for the upcoming week. So I think it might run, especially with Becker pumping it, and it's a high chance that Becker also was essentially taking part in the IDO of this thing, so private fundraising. But we will see, because currently it's 50 million, so even if we pump for 4x max, like I don't see more, because Rollbit, that it's like that's core of this narrative currently is 400 million, so it's kind of, but they have revenue, so it's different from a lot of other tokens. So yeah, remark, I think it's still a good time to buy. I don't know anything about the foundations, about the product, things like that. I pretty much explained why I bought it in the first place. I wanted to have exposure in gaming. I wanted to have exposure to DOT ecosystem. And I know that this token was shielded in the previous cycle, so there's a high chance that it will shield in this cycle as well. So yeah, still very, very nice time to buy. If you would want, feel free. But it's definitely not like a 10x. Not even a 5x, I think. 5x like at max, but it would be like a very, very nice scenario if we would really get like a nice alt season. And it's interesting. A lot of people, they're still like in fear. A lot of people, they still thinking on whether or not moving into the market. I think the time that I would have a surge, a FOMO to put more USDT into the market, that would be the time where I need to sell. That's very straightforward. And I do plan to basically to take profits on 50 to 70% on a lot of my positions, mainly pokers. I don't think actually that gaming will run till autumn next year. So I think if we would be seeing the correction moving into spring and summer, there is a high chance that other narrative would essentially run and gaming will be cooling off, depending on events that they would have and the niche and things like that. But I don't think that gaming will essentially run for the whole year, but we will obviously see. So that's it. We will see what will happen with Bitcoin Frogs. Feel free to check out Remark as well. I still think it's a nice buy. And yeah, it's nice to see that the portfolio growing. So we would see if we would be able to reach like 600k, 800k by the end of these 2 to 3 weeks. And yeah, the thing that I've done with VPP, that I didn't put 7k initially and sold 8k at 002, it hurts. I could have 100k here already, but I would probably be talking about this in every video. But anyway, thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye bye.